Good morning, sir. My name is Sita Kristen Sinaga. This is my video about the final test. So I wanna answer your questions. I choose number 1, 2, and 5. The first is number 1. All communications has a context. Communications happen for a reason. The answer is all communications has a context. So the parts of communications that influence the meaning of a message context has influence on the communications process. So we have been communicating in many contexts across our lifetime and will be able to apply what we've learned from experience in multiple contexts to business communications. And there are 5 communications that I have taken. So the first is interpersonal communications. It is like often collapse at which each language to perfect on our experience and the talk yourself through situations. And the number 2 is interpersonal communications, which normally involves the two people and our range from intimate and very personal to formal and impersonal and conversations over coffee with a colleague about projects. And the third is group communications. The fourth is public communications. And the next is number 2. Language functions in interpersonal conversations. We have the term greeting and life taking. So greeting functions of greetings. Greetings play an essential role in everyday conversational routines and are commonly used as a ritual form of politeness. As they serve an important functions in building and maintaining social relationships. Greeting often consists of brief conventionalist expressions that are not necessarily meant to be imparted literally, but rather are used as a tool to demonstrate politeness or to enhance the hearer's positive face. Greeting experience reflect religious aspects of conversational routines and are typically interpreted as such. Ritualistic language use is also called petty communications, and the bracket Malinowski which serves an interactional purpose in communications rather than conveying information in a transactional manner. For instance, when a speaker utters the common greeting in English, "Hi, how are you?" This does not necessarily seek specific details about the hairstyles, but instead use this ritual experience to negotiate the social relationship. Oftentimes, greetings are considered the first part of an interactional exchange between two or more people, and through a verbal or non-verbal greeting, the conversation's partner can acknowledge each other persons and begin a conversational exchange. A greeting statement often often forms part of an adjacent pair, which consists of an intention from the speaker and response from the hearer following an anticipatory turn-taking routine. So greetings are a highly frequent universal phenomenon. They can vary significantly within and across language, social groups, and even among the same individual in different circumstances. In this way, greeting behavior can be influenced by the relationship between the speakers, the social context at hand, as well as cultural difference that govern the politics norm of the given community, among other factors. Okay, and the next is number 5. Interpersonal speaking at office usually done at the process of doing. So the answer is communication. Interviews are a fact of life in the hiring process, and job seekers need to continue using best practice for interpersonal communications to succeed during interviews. Unfortunately for millennials, this is could be tough to do There's four tips when trying to land a job. The first is use I statement. Keep I statements far away from your resumes and cover letters. Why? Airforce professionals and hiring managers look for uh, candidates who can better their company. You need to show employees that your skills will benefit them. Display your potential benefits to the company with a confidence voice within cover letters and resumes. The second is use action words. Use words like change, create, develop, and organize to show the employer that you can affect change and take charge at work. This is more effective way of demonstrating your professional abilities than simply telling the interview which abilities you have. Chances are the employer is looking to fill at specific skill set, but an accurate action word display flexibility and high productivity rates. Power words may want to think about using in your interview may include and person this motivates creative adaptability. And the third is use quantifiers. Be specific about your past accomplishments. Talk about impactful projects you worked on, big name organizations you are working with, and any other impressive accomplishment worth mentioning. Doing so will give the hiring manager a clear vision of how you work and the conditions in which you are used to working and where you set the bar for work projects. Being fixed makes seem like a good idea. You may think it makes you seem flexible. However, specificity shows you have done your research on the company and your functional fit whenever possible. Number for the four is practice nonverbal communications. If you walk away from an interview knowing more about the knickknacks on the decks than what actually happened in the interview, you weren't paying attention to the conversations. The interview starts before you sit down with the hiring manager. Upon entrance, be sure to greet other employees in the office with a friendly grin and not to establish a positive attitude uh, before even meeting the interview. Eye contact is another form of nonverbal communication that exhibits confidence during one-on-one meetings. Maintaining a safe, respectful distance is also important when meeting with an interview for the first time. Police consulting suggests they know more than 3 meters from the interviewer. This is so you're neither trying to establish dominance nor get too comfortable too quickly with the potential employer. Okay, sir, yes, that's all my explanations about the video final text. Thank you.